Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the podcast where we talk about every single item, every single enemy, every single everything in the Binding of Isaac. I'm William Hughes, and I'm joined, as always, by some bones who investigate crimes by looking at doctors, Gary Butterfield.
Just thinking about that.
I can explain it if you want.
Yeah,
it's
please. Yeah.
You know, it's going into one of my realms, which is bad TV procedurals.
Okay.
We're doing the Temperance card, and of course, Temperance is the first name of Temperance Brennan from Bones.
Oh, they're named Temperance, eh?
Temperance Brennan, played by Emily Deschanel, the older Deschanel.
Weird first name for a person. Temperance.
I mean, there's a long tale, a long tradition
like
of naming
biblical
people after virtues.
Yeah, old like Prudence. Yeah.
Old
like
Prudence.
Old Bible name. Yeah. Dear Prudence. Dear Temperance.
There's a very funny Terry Pratchett joke about a family who understood that part, but then thought you went the other way with boys. So they had bestiality and cruelty as the boys' names.
Oh, that's great. That's very cute. Oh. Of course, we're talking about Temperance today. This one is the result of...
It's a new week, Gary. Let's reset for a second. We're acting like we're...
Yes.
Yeah. We continue to move through the cards. We are now in the reverse tarot cards. Mm-hmm. We're making good time through this list and coming back up towards where we will run out of content and desperately try, because we'll have to figure out what the pivot is now that it's no longer listing all nuts.
Pivot. Yeah, we did a preview pivot last week. This is Temperance, which you get from one of my favorite challenges. We talked about this. Really, really fun challenge where everything is randomized, like every parameter that can be randomized. Really good. And the tarot card is both clever in its meaning and also, I think, really cool.
Yeah, this is very funny as a concept.
Yes. Use this card and you have to eat 5 random pills in quick succession. You don't have any choice. So this is either fucking incredible. If you have a lucky foot or PhD, or even the false PhD, this is incrediable. Otherwise, it really just depends on your pill rotation. But I love the flavor of it so much. You know,
Gary, you like the flavor of a pill?
It depends on the pill.
Tell me more. What's your favorite pill to eat right now?
So I can't have them anymore because they're no good for my body, for my various medical conditions. But Advil tastes good. Back in the day.
Yeah, they put a little bit of candy coating on that.
Yeah, I really like that taste of Advil. I also like grape flavor. Well, this isn't a pill, I guess. Never mind. I was going to say I like grape flavored NyQuil. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a pill, Gary. You can the key thing there is it's a liquid.
Pill. Yeah. You can put it in a gel cap and then it just tastes like gel cap though.
Yeah, it does just taste like gel cap.
Advil's my favorite tasting pill. So
I had some good fucking vitamins when I was a kid. Flintstone vitamins, obviously, but also like these big orange ones that you chewed up that had a nice kind of citrusy flavor.
Yeah, those are good. Like vitamin C.
Gary, do you think that's why we're so big? It's because they gave us vitamins as kids?
It's definitely why I'm so big. There's no other possible explanation for it.
Well, you're not just fat, you're tall.
Yeah, I'm a large man.
I've been told you're tall. Everyone shorter than me looks the same height to me. Yeah.
Yeah, except for Jeremy Greer, who looks like a giant to you.
Sure.
Or
Levi, who I think is taller than me.
Yeah, or Cole. I surround myself with tall men.
Cole's shorter than me.
In a general sense. Cole's shorter than you?
I think so. I remember. I seem to recall looking down at Cole.
I don't. Well, that says more about you than anything else. I don't think so. I think that you're a little taller than me, and Cole's a little taller than me, and I think that you guys are the same, or maybe he might have like an inch on you.
Why is this not what we did at your wedding instead of having a wonderful time?
Because it's the pivot.
It's the pivot.
Let's rank the Duckfeed hosts by height.
Where will Nick land? On our shoulders.
Yep. He'll land in a tiny little cottage in a forest made out of a mushroom.
I did confirm with Nick that he was okay with us all the dick talk about him. Even though he didn't. Yeah.
He very funnily said at Thanksgiving, I heard that. I just didn't have anything funny to say. I just wanted to let you know that I heard it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it was not so much. He didn't really say it in the cadence of a joke. It was more just letting us know so we could move on.
Yeah.
It was a service.
Yeah, just another thing to tick off my to worry about list.
Yeah, and now you don't have to
Gary,
worry
what
about
you worrying about lately?
Oh, Duckstream.
Okay, really?
We got we got the stream at the end of this week. I just worry that I'm going to have bad energy or fuck it up or something. You know, it always
just
goes
to be
fine.
clear, Duckstream was last week.
Yes, as you're hearing this. I get nervous about, or I'm going to like feel real bad. Like every once in a while, the way my body works is like, I just wake up, I got diarrhea. I just wake up and I have like a headache for no reason. Like that's going to strike. You know, I'm trying not to have it strike, but I'm just going to be, I just don't want that.
Gary, I know it's a little late to be adding things to the planning list. Can we get you a GoPro that's just facing straight at your face and you wear it all the time and it can't see your dick or your butt or anything, but you do wear it when you go to the bathroom and stuff?
For the stream or just in general?
I mean, one is a pilot for the other.
So I do sometimes look at my dick when I am using the bathroom.
Why? You forget what it looks like?
No, for aiming purposes.
It's down.
Well, I take a lot of care when it comes to Nick's toilet. And I want to make sure that, you know, sometimes you get like a little, like a piece of fuzz stuck in your dick hole, you know, and it's like you put your thumb on it. Yeah. And it behaves as if you, like put your thumb on a hose, you know, you'll come out at an oblique angle with the urine. At least
Gary, I never thought I'd get to feel prideful about this, but I guess I'm just a better and more considerate pisser than you are. I just don't need to look. It just goes where I wants.
Interesting. Yeah. For me, I sometimes have to aim.
Plus, you're sitting down, right? To pee?
No. I should over at Nick's house, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's courteous. Well, and also it's just, and he has a bidet, and it's courteous to sit down pissing, I think.
Gary, I am going to encourage you to bidet during Duckstream, I think. I think I have to.
If we do that, I can do a bidet report because it'll be my first bidet, and that's content, baby.
Bidet, mate.
Bidet is the day.
Gary, now
bidet is the day.
Gary, now I really want to do the GoPro thing and have it focused on your face during the bidet process.
That's exceedingly a tag. That is very much stuff like adjacent to things I have Googled in Pornhub sites and stuff.
Yeah, cock bidet torture.
Yes, yeah, it's CBT. I just always been curious about the bidet experience. Just never done it.
I mean, I don't think there's a better time than at Duckstream.
It's a really good time, assuming everything goes right. If it goes wrong, it's the worst possible time.
Yeah, Gary, are you worried you're going to accidentally give yourself some kind of Duckstream enema with a GoPro pointed at your face?
A little bit.
Okay.
Like a lot of it.
See, and now you have a new worry to replace those other less like that's a service I provide to everybody in my life. They have like generalized anxiety, and then I will give them some very real and specific anxieties.
Well, and also unlikely. So it's a real anxiety, but this is less likely to actually happen.
It's like my persistent fear that when I'm sitting on the toilet, a snake will come up the drain and bite me on the testicles.
CBT.
Is it?
Snake bites.
All right. Cobra bite tremors.
Cobra bite tremors, testicle, amateur, wifey, first time. Hot wife. Gary,
are you looking for pornography of your own wife?
No, it's just hot wife as a tag.
Okay.
It'd be like, man, I could really go to see Live Naked, and I go online and put hot wife into it and expect it to, like a holodeck.
That's not her.
What? That's not her. You ever get this card? You know what this does? I'm trying to pivot us towards a regular ending.
You ever get this card? This is still Temperance, right? No, I've never done this challenge.
Ever get one of those shout-outs? You should do this challenge. It's real fun.
Got any gum?
Got any gum? We should do this challenge on Duckstream because it's fun and chaotic.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. It won't take very long. If you like this show, patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv is where you shall go. And if you want a rating and review, Apple Podcast and Podcast Addict will do.
Or write some. Since we're doing 2 weeks, I'm out.
Oh. Yeah, do it. You only have yourself to blame.
Me? Yeah, I know.
No, them.
But yeah, so and you know what that means? Every time we run out of reviews, it means you're obligated to play the show for one person this week.
Yes. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be somebody who you think will like it.
Yeah, no, we're not going to put that on you, but you do have to maybe just get on the bus and play it without your headphones on. Just play it.
People do that shit all the time with music. Mm-hmm. May as well be with Guppy. You know?
I'm imagining some teenager getting on a New York subway with a boombox. And they just hit play and just la da 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 da.
They put it on the ground and hit play and say, please, if you give me $1, I'll turn this off.
Yeah. And they pull a knife.
Yeah.
So Gary, I just tried to acapella our theme song. Can you do it real fast?
Na 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 na. I don't have it. I'm in the wrong key. You had it better.
And you don't listen to the show, so you don't know what it sounds like.
Well, I also suggested that theme song and know that little musical sting very well because I played Greed Mode all the time.
Like 5 years ago. Yeah. I know. Gary, you know what? I was going to go into the outro, but we already did it. Good night.
Good night. Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the Binding of Isaac podcast that talks about every item, creature, enemy, character, floor, and everything in the Binding of Isaac series of video games. My name is Gary Butterfield, and with me as always is Al Pacino. It's not Al anymore! Will Hughes.
This woman is stinky!
Ooh-ha!
Gary, you did say podcast.
It's a taste of the pod.
Yeah,
I did.
I try not to be this version of myself 24/7, but you did say podcast.
I thought there was a thing last episode that you said wrong. I didn't point it out.
What was it?
I don't remember it because I don't do that. I don't play that game. Listeners will catch it though.
He's an absentee landman.
As I get older, I am worse at speaking and putting out words through my mouth, and I say more things like podcast.
She's got a nice butt.
Hoo-ha!
That's from Warm. That's from his famous crime thriller
Warm. Yeah. Michael Mann's Warm.
Michael
Boy's Warm.
Yeah.
I hope someday there'll be a bank robber.
I hope to catch. Wait, they're sitting down at the milk bar.
Yeah. I'm Merwin Boy. You look all right today.
What?
That's Merlin Boy.
Oh,
the podcast.
Oh, okay. You've taken a small. I see how you got there. It is taking us further away from Little Kids remake Heat, which is kind of where my brain is living right now.
No, that's a great place for your brain to live. It's been too long since I've seen Heat. I had to rotate us away as a defense mechanism.
Yeah. You shouldn't have anything in your life that you're not willing to skip away from when you feel the warmth around the corner.
I have to rewatch that. I watched that. My stepdad.
Uh-huh.
Do you have this experience? My stepdad.
No, I've never had a stepdad.
Oh, okay. In my house growing up, because of my stepdad, there are all these VHS tapes that were like 4 movies recorded onto one thing. Just from HBO.
For sure. When I was a kid, that was our entire VHS collection. What are you going to do? Fucking buy a $40 VHS?
Yeah, it's ludicrous. So Heat was on one of those, along with, I want to say, Prince of Thieves, which we all know how often I watch that. But it's been a really long time, and I was mostly there for Prince of Thieves. I'd only sometimes leave on Heat because I was a weird little kid. So yeah, I need to see Heat again.
Gary, can I share with you a vulnerable thing that I hope I won't get horribly mocked for?
Yeah.
One of the VHSs we had was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I definitely had to make sure after I had used that tape to make sure it was not stopped on a particular scene.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I won't mock you for that.
No, it's all right. Let's move on.
Yeah.
You know which one? It's that fucking shoe going in the dip. God, I would nut so fucking hard. It's so Gary. It's so fucking scared. It doesn't know to be scared at first, right? Because it's just a shoe and it's a cartoon and it thinks it's safe. But then it realizes you watch this little cartoon shoe realize it can die. And I just, as it goes in, God damn, so many ruined pairs of underwear. God.
Yeah. No, it's hot. You're not going to deny it. And this is on top of it just being a shoe, which I'm already there for.
Yeah. It's why I can't watch Christopher Lloyd scenes in Nobody without
Angel in the Outfield.
Yeah, any of them. The whole Lloyd oeuvre, his episode of Fringe.
Yeah.
That taxi slow down bit. That's my tantric sex.
His kind of depressing role in the Telltale Back to the Future game.
Yeah.
Where you can hear every year on his frame.
What's a yellow light mean? Slow down.
We're of course talking about the devil. I have the devil. The devil.
Nandor, I've been double crossed by the devil.
This is a little bit better than you might think for reasons you might not think.
Yeah, hit me, man.
This gives you the Bible, so let you fly. The big thing that it does is it gives you the Seraphim familiar, which is the little familiar that shoots, what is it? That good item, Sacred Heart tears.
Yeah.
So it's just a good DPS upgrade for 30 seconds. Like you can fly. It does the Bible, which will kill mom. But the main thing is getting to Seraphim for 30 seconds is good. That's a really good familiar. It does a lot of damage.
Also, philosophically, like, it's the same thing we talked about with death, which is I would rather have the Bible as a one-use thing that I am carrying in my card slot than have to devote my item slot to.
100%. Yeah. In a way, this is very similar to the death one that we talked about. Yeah.
Because I don't like the mom fight. I don't really like. I like mom's heart more than I like mom. But like those are both fights where the slightest bit of carelessness can cause you to take damage. So
it's also, for me at least, there are fights I've done hundreds and hundreds of times. It's true. If things just line up that I can skip them, why not?
Yep.
You know, I've done it so many times. Fuck it. Yeah. But generally, I'm into this for the Seraphim familiar. Also, getting flight for a little bit in greed mode is very helpful. Very often on the exit room, there are chests that are behind rocks.
It's true.
So, yeah. Oh, man.
I can't wait for you to do your greed mode streaks at Duckstream, because you are going to
Can I tell you the tragedy of that?
Yes.
I got up to 29.
You
and then lost it on fucking 30.
Oh,
it sucked. It spawned. There's a thing that can spawn every once in a while where it spawns 6 champion fast monstros.
That's a lot of monstros, and
it's a lot of they don't have very much health, but if your DPS isn't there, you are just fucked.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make it. I'm like, well, and I haven't played it since. It was like 2 weeks ago.
You're not practicing.
I'm going to get back into practice this week because it's very fun, but it just losing like 29 in a row was very demoralizing.
And again, we are talking about things that the listener presumably already watched.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They don't give a shit. They know at this point. They saw whether it worked out good or bad. They got bored. I tried to, I was feeling antsy for games and I went back to Slay the Spire because I felt like I'd never given that a full chance. You know, that game is good, but the unlocks are way too slow in it.
It's a slow progression kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like how your version of going back and trawling for different games is playing one of the other 4 video games that you play.
That I haven't played very much. It's in the, there's a couple of roguelikes that I've only barely touched that are just like in the later pile. That's one of them.
Yeah, been playing RoboQuest lately. I got the Game Pass on the new old computer you sold me. RoboQuest. It's in the Gunfire Reborn mold. It's fun.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I just I needed a roguelike and I didn't I don't have the Game Pass. I know I could have the Game Pass. I should have the Game Pass. This makes no sense, but I kind of like low-key resent the Game Pass because everyone has tried everything. And my relationship with gaming just doesn't allow for like, I'm going to just try something real quick.
I know.
You know? So it ends up making me feel anxious and weird. So.
Yeah, that is, complicated but real.
Yeah. And the, also Slay the Spire, I hadn't even played it since they introduced the 4th character.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to that and going back to Into the Breach was nice because they add new content for those games.
Yeah, there's too many games, Gary, and we're going to stop them this year, I think.
Yep. That's the pivot.
That's what we're donating all the Duckstream money to this year, right? Is stopping game development.
Yeah. It's only going to be a drop in the bucket, but we're going to try.
Yeah, we're doing our best.
You know, it's more important now than ever.
I was about to say, if you want to watch us in Duckstream, but then I remembered how time works. Probably should have put that in last week's episode. Now that I think about it, I might have to edit that in. Fuck.
It's It's hope we'll be blasting it out on all channels.
But there are guppy listeners.
There are 100% guppy listeners who need to hear it. we'll also talk about it in the Guppy Slack channel. But there are people in the Guppy listeners who aren't on the Slack, which
again, though, we're talking to people who have already either chosen not to or did watch Duckstream.
If you're calling in about elder care,
God damn it.
no, I was just going to say, if you're a Guppy listener and you're not in the Slack, you should fix that. I saw a Segway King saw a Segway opportunity by going to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and hanging out in the Guppy Slack. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's just like a lot of people talking about, like me included, talking about the Smiths for a long time. It's pretty boring.
Sometimes it is a quite long and very passionate conversation about favorite seasons of Taskmaster.
Yeah. It really contains multitudes, and it's just one of the many channels on the Slack.
Is it?
Yeah. I've seen you posting games.
When I have an article to promote.
Yeah, it's rare, but you do it as part of the hustle, part of the grind set.
Your only move is hustle.
Patreon,
that was Patreon, and then
reviews, and we don't have any.
Yeah, play the podcast for another human being.
Yes, and write a review,
and then let them go.
Yes, and if they come back, it was never meant to be.
Bleak. Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the podcast where we talk about every single item, every single enemy, every single everything in the Binding of Isaac. I'm William Hughes, and I'm joined, as always, by a guy who's a big fucking pit in the ground, Gary Butterfield.
With the voice you're doing, I thought you were doing another American Gladiator, since Tower is an American Gladiator.
Okay, Gary, you'll fucking know if I do my Zonka, okay?
Okay.
If I'm Zonka,
thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. You won't have to wonder, all right?
Or your Tower. If you're doing an impersonation of Tower from American Gladiators, everyone knows it.
Most of my impressions of the American Gladiators are based in my physique, not in voice work.
Yeah. Elaborate on that.
I mean, mostly I don't know what any of the American Gladiators sound like because they're not a real voice-forward crew.
Yeah.
So instead, I simply...
Oh, you do like a physical impersonation.
Yeah.
Like you get out the pugil sticks and...
Of course. Yeah, you mean the big Q-tips.
Yes.
Gary, I've talked about this on Twitter, but I want to talk about it with you. Is there a bigger scam in the entire fucking universe than the Q-tip people trying to tell you not to put the Q-tips in your ears?
I'm chewing on that.
Mm-hmm. It's on the box. On the box it says, don't put these in your fucking ears. It's
pretty ludicrous.
They know what I'm doing with that, right?
Yeah. They certainly do, and advertised as such for a long time.
It's like fucking waiting. It's like the fucking waiting periods on guns, right? Like, hey, don't take this assault rifle and shoot everybody with it, right? But we know.
It is a plausible deniability thing. It reminds me of the paper bag speech from The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those eggheads in science said it's bad to stick these in your ears. They know we're still doing it.
Oh,
they just have to kind of wink.
What am I using? Some kind of like ear pick? Like a water pick, but for my ear, I'll just try my eardrum with a stream of water. I'll die.
I don't use Q-tips in my ears.
What? Okay. How do you clean it in there? How are you getting the taters out?
So I don't get taters.
Well, you could.
I use water in the shower. I tilt my head and I let the shower kind of spray it out.
Unpleasant physically.
It's not super pleasant now. It's it's fine.
Gary, ever lost hearing because the taters got too bad?
No.
College, freshman year, lost some hearing in an ear for a while because the taters got too bad. Had to go to the urgent care. Had the very nice woman ear pick out my ears. Saw some real taters in the tray afterward.
Gross.
It wasn't, you know what, Gary? But like afterwards, superpower. Felt like a superpower. Could hear it.
Yeah. Being clean inside and out is one of the best feelings. You can get that. Like that happens to me. I don't get taters in my ears.
Mm-hmm. You know? You might, but you could if you let it go long enough.
Yeah, I probably could. But Gary, if I take a very...
I challenge you to, in 2024.
Okay.
Tater.
What's the upside for me for this challenge?
I don't know. I'll probably validate you at some point off of it.
Yeah. My wife kisses my ears. I don't want to grow a tater.
She can kiss one ear and then leave the other for
I could have a control group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's called crop rotation. Okay.
Yeah.
You get 500 XP for telling a villager about it.
Your wife is fucking depleting the nitrogen levels in your ears right now.
Yeah. When you take a real powerful shit, or if you like really irrigate your nose, that's such a good feeling. Like you find some like fucking deep magic you got out.
I love that feeling. The other one leaves me feeling deeply exhausted.
Which one?
Shitting. But when you manage to like chew off a really big thick toenail,
probably similar for your people.
Human beings, with feelings and thoughts and beliefs
and teeth and toes
and teeth and toes. Or when when you yank out one of your own teeth.
Teeth and toes. Thoughts, feelings, teeth and toes. We're talking about the tower.
That might be my favorite It's Always Sunny joke is Charlie being able to pull out his own teeth.
I love that bit so fucking much. Like, stop doing that. Basically, any joke where the punchline is somebody going, stop doing that.
Yeah.
That always makes me laugh. I love it, and I think you should leave with Bar Harley Dravers. He doesn't win, I'll kill myself. Stop saying that. I love that joke.
Gary, this is the tower?
Yeah. I have this unlocked. This is in my my small group of reverse tarot cards. I rather like this.
Clever.
It's clever. It fills the room with rocks and obstacles. It is of limited use.
Oh, sure.
But in my experience, I have never not had either a tinted rock show up or been able to destroy all the rocks and not had a crawl space.
The wiki suggests that you are more likely to get at least one tinted rock out of doing this.
I've gotten 3 before.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. So the joke here is that the tower normally drops a bunch of bombs into your room to blow up randomly. So this is the opposite of that. It's filling it with rocks.
Yes. Even though this would also be a reversed Hagalaz, would make more sense.
It would be. Zagalhag.
This is not useful. Like, you don't use it in fights. And it will fuck you in fights.
Enemies,
mode report.
There's lots of flying enemies that don't particularly care about rocks.
And if you use this in greed mode in the shop, it will block off access to items and stuff. It can't block the pathway to the exit. It'll always leave you a way to get out, but it will certainly deny you assets in that room.
Gary, I've gone from lightly mocking the greed mode report to genuinely finding it's a little sad.
It's a cool way to play, man.
Yeah.
The runs take less time. They're real fun. And you get a streak. You get a little number that can go up. You understand that.
Gary Butterfield, a persistent narrowing of perspective.
Yeah. It's, I don't know.
It's like this is your Dennis Miller turn. Except instead of your heart shrinking, it's just the window of games you can play.
Yeah, it's Slay the Spire in this. That's not true, even a little bit. I'm playing lots of games for work. Working my way through Mario Wonder.
For work.
Well, no, but not for work. I'm working my way through Mario Wonder and treating myself to a replay of Alpha Protocol, all on my free time.
Oh shit! How you doing your Alpha Protocol playthrough? Let's play. Gary, no more guppy shit. What's Alpha? Let's talk Alpha Protocol.
I love Alpha Protocol. Deeply underrated game. I wanted to play it because I played Mass Effect, which is not a very good game.
And Alpha Protocol is such a
eats its fucking lunch.
Oh yeah,
it's so much better as a third-person RPG. Everything about it's better. I'm really enjoying it. I'm just about wrapping up the first act, the opening act in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So
that does that thing that I absolutely love where making your companions hate you also has effects.
I love it. Like bonuses and also surprising narrative effects. Like just a video game where the point is not just to be a paragon who is liked by everybody is such a cool thing.
Gary, have you played Dragon Age 2?
Yeah. You know that.
Dragon Age 2, which I would say is the most Oblivion-esque game BioWare has ever made.
Yeah.
I love Dragon Age 2 so much. It is maybe
the
only
language,
BioWare game I love.
Yeah, I don't like BioWare very much, I've decided. I like Dragon Age 2. Me and Cole are both Dragon Age. Like, the network is a safe place for Dragon Age 2 likers.
Yeah.
We're both into it. Yeah. Little Love sequels get their due on Duckfeed.tv.
And then with number 3, they steer right back into the bullshit.
I fucking hate Inquisition, dude. I couldn't finish it.
I couldn't get through the first act.
Bad game.
Bad game.
Bad video game. Mass Effect 1, bad video game. And then like, I don't like KOTOR 1. I don't like Jade Empire. Dragon Age 1 is kind of okay. Weirdly, the only thing that gives it a run for its money. Did you ever play Dragon Age Awakening? The weird little interquel?
I never did. I've heard good things about it.
It's good. It's basically the same system as Dragon Age 1, but with a more constrained and better story. Yeah, it's good. And Anders isn't ridiculous in it. Anders they made Anders very different for Dragon Age 2.
Yeah, I will say that Jade Empire is probably my favorite BioWare game as a shmup.
You know what? I hadn't thought about the side-scrolling shmup sections where your ancient warship blimp is going through. But yeah, it does probably have the best shmup in it. Which BioWare has the best Towers of Hanoi?
KOTOR 2 has literal Towers of Hanoi in it, and that's Obsidian, not BioWare. So
they all do. It's in Mass Effect 1 and it's in KOTOR 1. And it's in the first 10 hours of KOTOR 1 because I played it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
KOTOR 1 is the best pod racing one.
Okay. I can believe that. I never got that far, but maybe. So, on the sale, I bought the collection of 1 and 2, so I'll eventually play 2.
2 is... I'm not going to sit here and tell you 2 is a great game, but it's got some fascinating narrative stuff. And again, it is the only Star Wars thing I've ever encountered that hates the franchise as much as you do. That's
great. And it's just, replaying Alpha Protocol and stuff and having spent some time in the BioWare mines is reminding me Obsidian, even at their worst, is doing stuff that's an order of magnitude more interesting than most RPG
Alpha
developers.
Protocol is so fucking good. Even Mike Heck is great. Even though he's
Steve
the most Steve Heck. I'm so sorry. You're Mike. Okay. He's Steve.
Yeah.
Even though he's the memeiest memer that ever memed, he's still really fucking good because he'll still fuck you.
He's still real fun and funny and unpredictable. And it's also a thing too where I don't think that the mechanics of that game are nearly as bad as people make out.
I think it's a perfectly fine third-person shooter.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. The stealth can be a little wonky, but then it literally gives you invincibility powers.
The stealth is wonky and the AI is bad. The characters, aren't doing all of the things you back of box quotes, like reactivity and stuff. They're in pretty set patrols, things like that. But it's scratching a little bit of my 3D Deus Ex, my new Deus Ex itch a little bit too.
Yeah.
Good fucking game. I love the rhythm of going to your safe house, checking your emails and having little individual safe houses for each part of the world that have different personalities. Great goddamn game.
One of the best vectors for giving a shit about what you chose to do and what your character build is. I'm officially in love with Baldur's Gate 3 at this point, and that's the shit that I'm responding to is I ran into that crazy surgeon guy who wants to take out everybody's eyes. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, you're halfway there because I'd had one of my eyes removed. And I was like, fucking A.
Yeah. I love it. It's my favorite thing a game can do is have reactivity like that. It makes me very happy. And Alpha Protocol said they're doing it in 2010, better than most games now. Not all games, but... No.
Yeah, and this has been Watch Out for Fireballs Rewind. Alpha Protocol again.
Yep. I'd love to cover that game again. I'm sure we could do it better this shit now again.
Yeah, I'm on board, man. Just let me know when we're recording and I'll be there.
I will.
Fucking liar.
No, it's technically a half-truth because we're not going to do it. So if we do it, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Nya. You're not touching me. If you like Watch Out for Fireballs.
Alpha Protocol.
Yeah, if you like Alpha Protocol, listen to Watch Out for Fireballs on the Duckfeed.tv network. Several years ago, but I bet you the episode's still pretty good.
Yeah.
And you can support that show by going to patreon.com/DuckFeedTV.
And then remember, you are obligated to play this episode for another human being.
Yeah. And you can play that Alpha Protocol episode and the extra show that came after it where you interview Chris Avallone before anything came out.
Before any allegations.
Yep. The good shirt. Hello and welcome to Everything to Guppy, the Binding of Isaac podcast that covers every soul in the Binding of Isaac series of video games. My name is Gary Butterfield, and with me as always is Eve7, Will Hughes.
Yeah, the first 6 were discontinued due to personality defects. I am the first one not to be rated as defective personality-wise.
Yes, their hearts were in a blender, but yours is sound.
Yeah, although I do sometimes think about that beautiful Oblivion.
Yeah, oh, man. There's just kind of a weird stiffness to the characters that I like. They're ugly, but there's a beauty to its weird PS3 level emptiness and roboticism.
Okay, you're doing okay. I got you. That was that was a tricky one for me to connect with for some reason. I do have that Game Pass. I do have Starfield just sitting there. Can't bring myself to hit install on that bad boy.
Yeah, I would lose time if I did that. I bet you I would find enough to like about it. All those games are games I have serious problems with, but I still play for 140 hours.
Yeah, and you probably don't have 140 hours left. So
I no. Not of free time. I've got like way more of that in work time, but not in free time.
Gary, do you ever think about there's going to be a moment where you're happy and it's the most happy you'll be for the rest of your life?
Yeah. I think about that.
My dad said that to me when he was dying of cancer. He was like, yeah, I had a day yesterday where I felt kind of good. And I was like, oh, I'll never feel better than this again.
Yeah. No, I think about that. I get depressed about that with parent death stuff too. I think about like the moment my mom was never going to go to a new restaurant again, never going to, like, I think about that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah.
For myself, I don't worry about it as much. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I like my life. I feel like I've had like a pretty okay life. If I have already had my happiest moment, it was pretty good. And my second and third happiest moments are all pretty good, so I'm okay. Like, but I do get depressed about it when I think about parents.
I think I might have had the worst moment of my life already, provided I die kind of fast. Like, if I go fast from a heart attack or something, then I've already had the worst moment of my life, and that's nice.
Yeah, that's the flip side. That's comforting.
Yeah.
And there's a thing when everyone's like, "Oh,
it was like 10. It was like 20 minutes ago when I got mad at you while we were recording."
Yeah, it was the whole Brian K. Vaughan, Robert Kirkman debacle.
Yeah, well, and I was wrong because you bringing it back up right now is actually worse. Fuck,
it's way worse. Well,
shit.
Hope springs eternal. Despair springs eternal.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah. The people are always like, "Oh, the best is yet to come." That's important. But what if it's not the best? What if it's like the second or third best? Still pretty good.
You're like 45 now, Gary. That's not guaranteed.
Yeah, and it's fine because I'm very happy with like if like the 10th best is yet to come. That's still pretty good. I'll take it.
Gary, Soul.
I'm gonna leave you anyway. I'm gonna
Soul.
leave you anyway. I'm gonna leave you anyway. You're gonna walk right out that.
Soul.
You're gonna walk right out that.
Soul.
You're gonna walk away.
Soul. 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 Soul.
I'm gonna leave you anyway. Good song. Gary, this is Soul of Eve. I don't have this one, but reading the description, making me laugh.
Yeah, it's real good. The message when you pick it up, it says your very own murder. I like that. And it just makes 14 dead birds fly in and attack the enemies. The dead bird familiar has gotten a boost in her pendants, is better, but also 14 of them is very powerful, and they stay until you leave the room or all the victims are dead.
This seems like it would be very good against, say, delirium.
Yeah. Just a constant fast damage tick.
Yeah.
On him. Obviously great in greed mode. I haven't unlocked this, but it seems like it'd be really good in greed mode because
we're both speaking hypothetically.
Yeah. If you can keep it going, if you can keep the waves coming, the dead bird just won't leave.
Well, Gary, you're only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I don't hear what you're saying.
That's the cadence of familiarity to me, but I can't place it.
It's lyrics of Comfortably Numb by the Pink Floyd.
Ah, there we go. Yeah.
The Pink Floyd. I was a big Pink Floyd kid in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On those, about you.
Specifically the wall, those long bus trips back from marching band shows where everybody in the back of the bus was necking and giving hand jobs, and I was sitting alone in a seat, just had the wall in my CD player on repeat. Just
that's an image, man.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah.
Somebody paint that.
And it was night, because those would be a whole day. That would be my whole Saturday, most of fall. Yeah, just kind of had my coat kind of scrunched up to make a pillow and just kind of like head against the window and just kind of like letting time go. Ironically, not listening to time.
That sounds kind of, at first that made me sound felt depressing to me. And now I think it feels kind of peaceful and nice. You know?
Death. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a comfortable pile of rot.
It's almost like I was comfortably numb.
It is very like you're comfortably numb.
Well, Gary, when I was a child, I had a fleeting glimpse.
Yeah. Even though numbness as a feeling is not comfortable at all. Like emotional numbness, sure, but like physical numbness, that sucks.
Emotional numbness is so nice, Gary. It's what else could it be? What could be better?
Yeah, but physical numbness feels awful.
I have a dead spot on my leg that I've had since I was like 18. And like, I don't. When the cats walk on it, I can just feel a little pinprick of pain. And it's way worse than if they just had their claws digging into the real flesh that isn't dead.
I am constantly sleeping on my arms in weird ways that makes them numb.
Gary,
and it wakes me up from numbness.
We got to get you stand up sleeping.
I need something. Facebook keeps advertising me this really weird pillow contraption that has like a hole you can put your arm in.
Okay, that seems like maybe that's Jigsaw trying to get you, man.
It does seem like a way to lose my arm. It does seem like a Dark Urge Gale situation.
I feel like you are really high, given some of your habits. I feel like you're really high up on that Jigsaw list, and I spend a lot of time every week fending. I'm at your house fending off Jigsaw stuff. Just FYI.
I appreciate that. I think you should let Jigsaw know that I appreciate my life quite a bit. And usually his MO is against people who don't appreciate being alive. But you can say many things about Gary Butterfield, but I'm grateful. I live a life.
I gotta tell you, he's got I think it's. Was it on the show or in real life or someone else where they suggested to me that Jigsaw was the puppet?
Oh, it doesn't sound like it. I didn't say it.
It might have been John. I only talked to 3 people.
Okay.
So
I know that because we just did Saw from Film Wall. Saw 1 is very fresh in my memory, so I know he's not the puppet.
Gary, I spend a lot of time every week on Jigsaw defense duty. I wasn't going to tell you about it because I didn't want you to worry.
Yeah.
But it's just so many bear traps being taken away from so many open containers of cookies. Have
you ever considered that maybe that is your Jigsaw trap that he created, protecting me?
Yeah. I guess I could. I could just let you get Jigsaw. You know what I think it is? I think he used to run a Winco, and or a Fred Meyer or whatever, and I think he did get a little upset about the nut butter stuff.
He doesn't like the PLU switcheroo.
No, all that nut butter you stole. He seems. I think he keeps mentioning it in the tapes he plays.
Yeah, at this point they're like kind of like rambling letters to the editor.
Yeah, I I leave them out for him to reuse because I felt bad at some point because I was like, there can't be that many answering machine tapes left in the world. So,
are Jigsaw tapes the first podcast?
Yeah, Gary. Ricky Gervais and Jigsaw got together to make fun of a slightly dumber Jigsaw.
Yeah, you having a murder, are you?
Hey.
Atheism. What?
Gary, would you watch a movie that is Saw, but it is Ricky Gervais, either as Jigsaw or as the primary victim?
Ooh. I mean, so one of those has immediate appeal, which is Gervais as the victim.
Yeah.
You know, because depending on what happens, we might get to see Ricky Gervais's head get blown open with a reverse bear trap.
That does happen a lot in those movies.
Yeah. It's one of the primary verbs. Ricky Gervais as Jigsaw just drained all of the energy I've ever had and my energy for like the next 2 days.
Good. Yes. Success. Another victory for William Hughes.
I'm in deduct. Like I now have to build up energy reserves because that thought is powerfully exhausting. That is, it is one of the most incredible things. Just listeners,
what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Oh, you got a bear trap on your nuts. Oh no.
Yeah, gender. If you if listeners, if you think that I'm exaggerating, really luxuriate in that thought for a little bit and think about how it might go.
You wake up, you're in a very dirty bathroom, and then Ricky Gervais pops up on the TV to say, "Well, you probably want to pray. Too bad, right?
Yeah, too bad. Yeah. Dude, men have penises. Yeah, okay, man. Like, shut up."
Yeah, if you're gonna be awful, at least be interesting.
Yeah, and you just haven't, and I know you're capable of it. Like, there are things you've done that have been funny. Why do you suck so goddamn bad now?
I mean, you were once upon a time. Stephen Merchant was probably the driving force.
Yeah, that's true. Even though there's some things there are some things that are probably okay. Yeah, probably at least a little bit.
Derek, you like Derek? What if he's Derek? What if he's Derek the whole time when he's jigsawing you? The simple, also mentally handicapped man with a heart of gold that Ricky Gervais played for years for fun.
Yeah,
I thought was his heartwarming thing.
I would feel pretty conflicted. His other heartwarming thing is the invention of lying, which he considers to be very heartwarming. His atheism
I do actually like the invention of lying quite
a bit. It's something that sounds better as a one sentence concept in a movie.
It's true.
I like extras. I like The Office. Okay. And he probably has a little bit to do with those, even if it is mostly Stephen Merchant, you know?
Yeah. But Gary, you're coming out more pro Ricky Gervais than expected, I would say, on this one.
Wait, I don't like somebody turns out to be crappy. So you have to pretend everything they've ever done is no good. Yeah. I'm very resistant to that.
Yeah, Gary, you got some thoughts on cancel culture there, old white guy?
No, I just, it's just a weird, I don't like revisionist history. Like, I don't want to support Louis C.K. The guy's a fucking monster. You don't do that.
I have never been in support of revisionist history.
I see what you did there. But it's not like I've never laughed at his comedy specials and they weren't good jokes.
Oh, interesting.
They were good jokes. He just fucking sucks.
I knew, so I didn't.
Yeah. You knew?
Yeah.
How'd you know? You really dodged. You had a lot of responsibility you didn't take part in.
Oh, well, nah. Gary, if people enjoy the show, what should they do?
That's the most you've ever just been like abort without actually saying it. Like Vito.
No, I'm not abort. It's just, so Gary, let's go inside the bit for a second. What's the funny response to that?
I don't know. I just felt good that I got you.
Okay, yeah, that does seem to be what was the guiding, the driving motivation there at the end. Which
I just felt good that I got you. I don't know. There wasn't.
No, Gary, you got me.
Yeah, I was just taking some simple joy. You're right.
Yeah, WalterWhite.gif. You got me.
Yeah, and not to be confused with Simple Roy, the sequel to Ricky Gervais's Derek.
Yeah.
If you like the show, go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. Give us some dollars and cents. And also tell one person about the show and also leave a rating review on Apple Podcasts or Podcast Addict.
Yeah. Just tell them about it this time.
Yes.
Tell your doctor about it.
Ooh. And they don't have to be a psychologist.
No.
It could be a body doctor as well.
It could be internal or external, you know?
Yeah. Whatever kind of medicine you prefer.
The medicines. That's the theme song to Sawbones, the Justin McElroy and Sidney McElroy podcast.
I see. Was that, I'm genuinely asking, I'm not trying to, was there a recent controversy around that? I saw some boo birds about that, but I don't know what it is about.
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
But if there was, I already knew. Never liked it.